Hello everyone, my name is Prajan Shrestha and I'm a computer science student at Concordia University, Chicago. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate some Linux scripts. So let's jump into it. So first, I'm going to show you a tree of my files and folders which is inside this directory. So for that, I'm going to type find dot dash print command. So as you can see, I have a data folder, and inside data folder I have os.txt, programming.txt, aws.txt, cloud.txt, and in the same way I have readme.txt file, and in the same way I have backup folder, output folder, scripts folder, and inside scripts folder I have these scripts, and I also have a screenshots folder, and I have these screenshots. Okay, so let's jump into the scripts folder. Okay, so I have one script, so let's do ls, and so these are the scripts which I have. So let's run bash basics review.sh. Okay, so for that, to run the script, I type /bash basics review.sh. So as you can see, it says permission denied. This is because the script file does not have the executable permission. So by default, the Linux does not provide executable permission, which is because of security reasons. So for that, we have to change the permission and allow this script to run. So for that, we have to give the executable permission. So for instance, as you can see, if I type ls.l, then I have read permission and write permission, but it says the next one is it has dash. So this it has dash because it does not have the executable permission for now. Okay, so let's provide the executable permission. So chmod plus x and then the script file name. So now if I type ls-l, then as you can see, for the bash basics review.sh, I have this x, so which says I now have the executable permission. Okay, so let's clear and run the script, which is bash basics review.sh. So so first it asks me for the student name. So let's type the student name and then the course name and then the how many labs completed. So bat lab assignments, how many assignments completed. So let's, for instance, let's type 4. Then it generates me a report which gives the student name, the course title, and then the completed labs, and then how many labs are remaining. So for now, 0 labs. So let's see the code. Okay, so for that I can type pico and then bash basics review.sh. So this is the code, the first one, which is the subang. So this is important because it tells the operating system that this is not a normal file, it is a script file, and it should be run using the bash interpreter. Okay, and then I have this clear command. This basically clears the screen for a distraction free layout. And then these are comments. So to write comments, we start with the hash sign. Okay, and then we have one echo command. So echo, it prints whatever you write into the terminal. So for example, it has right now it has BLA4 assignment tracker. Okay, so the next one is read. So the read command, it is useful when you want to when you want the user to type anything into the terminal. So dash p, it stands for prompt, and it helps to give something like any information to the user in the terminal. So for instance, let's say enter student name, so that now the user can know that it has to type the student name. Okay, so student name, it is a variable. So a variable is basically a place to store values. So the next one, it asks the user to type the current course, and it stores the course in course name. Okay, and in the same way we have total labs equals to 4, so this has been assigned. And then completed labs, so this one it asks for the user input, how many labs the user has completed. And the next one, we do some arithmetic operation here. So we do subtraction, total labs minus completed labs, and we store the value in remaining labs. And this one, so the current time is a variable which stores the current date and time in hours, minutes, and seconds. And in the same way, with the help of echo command, we output the information into the terminal. So and the important part is, to use the variable name, we have to use the dollar sign. Okay, so we display the current time, student name, course name, and then how many labs completed out of the total labs, and then the remaining labs left. So this is the basics review code. Okay, so let's see another script. So the next one is argument checker. So as we know already, that we have to give the executable permission for our scripts to run. So the next one is argument checker dot sh. So if I type this, now it has the executable permission. Now let's run this script. So it says error, missing required inputs. So we have to type the student name, assignment name, and expected score. So and it has also displayed the example, like we have to type something like this. So the argument checker, it checks the argument, and we have to provide the arguments. So what are arguments? So arguments are the actual values. Okay, so we have to provide them to run this script properly. So let's do that. And then let's say for the student name, I type my name, and then assignment name, and then I type, like for example, expected score, and then it gives me the results. So processing submission, and then student record, it gives me the student name, assignment, and then the target. And then so status is passing grade, OS is currently on track. Okay, so let's see this script. So for that, I type pico argument checker dot assets. Okay, so the first line is the subang, and then this one, it clears the terminal. So now we have an if statement. Okay, so if, and this dollar sign is a special built-in bash variable, okay, that holds the count of command line arguments passed to the script. So if the arguments are less than 3, so LT stands for less than. So if the arguments are less than 3, then it displays the output. So as we saw earlier, that when I ran this script for the first time, I didn't provide any arguments, and it displayed this error message. Okay, so the next one, and then fi, so this one is the it indicates that the if statement has been completed. This is the the final line of the if statement. Okay, and then so we have the name, assignment, and score variable. So $1, the first argument is stored in name, the second argument is assignment, and the third one in the score. Okay, and then we have this echo command to display the values. uh, in the terminal. So dollar name, so as I already said, for the to display the variable, we have to use the dollars. To display the value of the variables, we have to use the dollar sign. So it goes like this. And we also have one if statement here. So if the score is greater than or equal to 70, then display this, else display this. And fi, so this says the if statement has been completed. So in the bash we have, so eq stands for equals to, ne stands for not equals to, and then this greater than, gt for greater than, ge for greater than and equal to, lt for less than, and le for less than or equals to. Okay, so okay, now let's see the next script. The next one is okay, so let's do ls and see. So now we are going to do this one, file analyzer.sh. So this script helps to search for the keyword in the file. So let's say if I go one step backward, and then in the data folder I have these files. So let's see one file, cat, with the help of cat aws.txt. So I have some information related to aws. Okay, and so now let's run this script. So let's go back, scripts, and then give the executable permission. Let's clear this and then run this script. So it says enter search keyword. So let's type aws, and then it says searching data logs, please wait, and then the status is success, so 6 occurrence found. And then it also provides me the destination folder, which is this one. So let's see, we can just copy, and then we can use more or cat. So for now let's use cat, and then the destination file. So here it says it generated on this time, and then the keyword is aws, and then 6 matches found 6, and then it gives the path, and then this one is a line number, and then this one is the text. Okay, so let's see this script. Okay, so pico file analyzer.sh. Okay, the first one is the subang, and then this one is the clear, and then this one is for to display output, to display this text we use echo, and then we are using read to to uh, uh, so that the user types the keyword. To take input from the user we use read, and then we are using one if statement, so that dash jet option, so it checks if a string variable is completely empty or not. So if the user does not type anything, then it displays a error, it says search keyword cannot be empty. Okay, and this one is the output file. This one is the destination for the file, and it is and we are storing it in the output file, and we have the current time here, and this one is just displaying the output. Okay. So as you can see, we have one single greater than sign, and here we have double greater than sign. So what is it does, it creates this, and then with the help of double greater than sign it appends the output. Okay, it, for instance, it give it displays this, and then below that it appends this. Okay, so this one is used to append something. And then we have the match count variable. So what it does is, so a grep, it helps to search recursively. Dash R stands for recursively. So inside directory, and then inside the directory. So uh, it does that. And I stands for case insensitive, so it can be upper case or lower case, it doesn't matter. For the keyword which the user has given. So for instance, I gave AWS, and then this one is the the path, and then the straight line, it so it helps to pipe. And then so the piping, what it does, it the output of this goes to the input to this command. And then WC, so it counts the word. So match count is just take what it's doing is, it is searching for the keyword and then counting the keywords. Okay. And then if the match count is equals to 0, then so it displays no matches found for the keyword. So for example, no matches found for AWS, and then so no matches found, it says. And then if it is greater than 0, then what it says is, so matches found. And then so in the file log output, it displays the output. Okay. So here, as you can see, this one, it searches for the keyword recursively, case insensitively, and also n. So n stands for the number of lines. Okay. So as you can see here, it gave me the keyword with the text, and then it also gave me the line. Okay. So this what it does. Okay, so now let's look at the next script, which is system report.sh. Okay, so ls, so we are going to look this script for now. So let's give the executable permission. Report.sh. So let's run this script. System report.sh. So it says the status is success, and then the destination file, the destination path, and then it gives a note which says report compiled and formatted successfully. So let's see this, what is inside. Cat, and then let's paste this path. So it gives me it gives a report of the system. Okay, so it says generated by, and then the timestamp, and then the location, and then total files. And it gives me disk storage consumption, disk space breakdown, and then active resource task snapshot. Okay, so let's look at this script using pico. System report.sh. Okay, the first one is the shebang, and then we are using clear to clear the screen. And then this one is the destination path. Okay, and we are storing it in report variable. And then this one is the current time. We are making a current time variable which is storing the current time. And then mkdir dash, so it creates the target directory if it does not exist. So if it does not exist, it creates, or else if it has already been existed created, then it doesn't create it. Okay. So this one is used to show the information. Okay, so for example, who am I gives the name of the user, current time, we are using current time from here. And then pwd gives the print the working directory. Okay, it prints the working directory. And then the total file, it lists the files and the word count and the count, okay, in the directory. So ls, it helps to list, and then the output of, since you are using the pipe or piping, since we are doing the piping, so it lists and then it gives the word count. Okay, so in the same way, now we have disk storage consumption, and with the help of this command df-adds, so it inspects disk drive partitions and prints the results in human readable format, for instance gigabytes or megabytes. Okay, and for the directory space breakdown, we have this command du-sh dot, so it gives disk usage summary information in human readable form. And then for active resource task snapshot, we have this, so ps-ef, and then the piping operator, and head dash and 10. So what it does is it lists out every single running task process on the machine, and then since we are giving 10, so it shows only the top 10 rows. Okay, and then so we are uh, displaying the status, so which is success, and the destination report, so this one is going to be the path, so here we are using it from here, the report. And then and we are giving a note which is saying that report compiled and formatted successfully. Okay, the next one is menu toolkit.sh. So let's do ls. Okay, so now we are going to run this script, which is menu toolkit.sh. Okay, so let's clear this, and then let's give the executable permission. .sh. Now let's run this script. Okay, so the name says menu toolkit, so we have a menu here. So let's select an option, so to display current date and time 1. So now it has displayed the current date and time, and then for any key to return to the main menu. Okay, so 2 for current user and directory, and then 3 for file analyzer, let's say program, so only one found for the program. And then to run system report 4. Okay, and then create backup of data folder, that's for 5. Okay, so and if I type anything which is not 1 to 6, let's say 1 to 3, then it says invalid selection. Okay, so let's see that again. So it says invalid selection, please choose a number from 1 to 6. So the next one, so if we want to exit, we can use 6, and then we are now exited from that script. Okay, and it gives a beautiful message which says exiting toolkit, keep building. So let's see the script now. So let's use pico menu toolkit.sh. That's underscore menu underscore toolkit.sh. Okay, so the first one is the subang, and then we have menu options, so 1 for current date and time, 2 for user and directory, 3 run file analyzer, and so on. And then we have one show menu function. Okay, so it's now, and in that function we are using a for loop. So for option in menu options, so menu options is this one. So this symbol, the big bracket, @ and big bracket syntax expands to select all entries in the array, printing them one at a line, so as we saw earlier. And then echo option, so which one we are using. Okay, and then we have another function which says show current date and time, so it basically showing the current date and time using the date, and then the other variables, sorry, the other the keywords. And then we have show current user and directory function, so who am I, it displays the current user, pwd, it displays the working directory, the current working directory. And then we have another function which is run backup, So it has a uh, backup destination path. And then um, so we have one if function here, so dash d and then dot dot, so one step forward, sorry, one step backward, and then the data. So it checks if the data directory exists using the dash d conditional flag. So if and then it makes, so if it doesn't, so it will make, I mean it, for example, it checks, and then if it has, it makes one backup folder, and then it copies recursively the and then the into the backup destination, and then it prints the message. So if it doesn't have, it says status failed, and then the reason is source directory, the directory is missing. Okay, and we have one function for the pause screen. So uh, you know so it helps to it so it allows the user to type something to return to the main menu, as we saw earlier. Now we have one while loop here. So while true, which means the loop will execute. um, and then we have show menu here. So this is a function which we have already made. So this one, so it executes this function. And then we have the select an option. So user selects the option. If user selects one, it shows the current date time. So this is also a function which we have already made. So this one will show current date time. And in the same way, we have show current user and directory function, which we have already made. And then the third one, the third option is run file analyzer. So we have already made this script, so we can use that script. Okay, the file analyzer which we saw earlier. So we can use what the script we made which we have made. Okay, so the next one is the fourth one. The fourth one is the run system report. So you know so this one is also, we are just running the script, the system report script, and then the run backup, and then the clear. So for the sixth option, we have exit. So to exit from the main menu, to exit from that loop, we use the clear. And then if we type any other options, then it says invalid selection, please choose a number between 1 and 6. And it's sleep 2, which means pause for 2 seconds and then return. So ESAC means we are now on the in, this denotes the end of case, and then done, which is the ending line of the while or while loop. Okay, so this is the menu toolkit script. So now the last script is file organizer by extension.sh. So let's give executable permission for this script. So this is file organizer by, I can also hit tab to so that it will be easy for me. I do not need to type the whole script file name. So sometimes if the script file name is long, you can use tab. Okay, and let's run this script. So / file organizer .sh. So it says no such file or directory, no such file or directory. So let's look at this script first. Okay, so pico file organizer extension.sh. Okay, so the use of this script is to move .log files or .txt files into the output directory. So we have the subang and then the clear command to clear the terminal, and then what it's doing is it's just moving the log files and the txt files into the output directory. Okay, so let's type ls, and then let's make one file of .txt extension, and then one file for, let's say, file.log. Okay, if I type ls, Now as you can see, we have file.log and file.txt. So let's say let's run this script now. So I can use the up arrow to see my history. So let's run this script, and then it says now moved .log and .txt files to output directory. So now if I type script, so ls, so as you can see my .txt file and then my .log file is not there. So it is inside this one output output directory. So let's look if it is there or not. So let's jump into that directory and then type ls. So as you can see, my log file and then the txt file is inside the output directory. So this script is going to be very handy when you want to organize your files. So if I want my script files to be inside script and then my, let's say, my other files inside into another directory, then this script is going to be really helpful. So when I want to organize my files. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I know that this video uh, has been very long. Okay, so however, I hope you learned something new here, and then thank you for watching this tutorial, and thank you so much, man. And if you have any questions, to drop me in the comment section. Okay, I will try my best to answer any of the doubts that you have. And then thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.